The clash between the United States and Iran is no longer simmering in the background. It's expanding, intensifying, hardening. And now, it's hitting the heart of Tehran's economic lifeline. On February 25, 2026, the U.S. Department of the Treasury unleashed one of its most aggressive financial crackdowns yet, targeting more than 30 individuals, companies, and vessels tied to Iran's so-called shadow fleet and its weapons procurement networks. This isn't just another sanctions package. This is economic warfare aimed at the engine room of Iran's power. Two pillars are now in Washington's crosshairs. First, the ships that move Iranian oil in the shadows. Second, the networks that turn that oil money into missiles, drones, and military hardware. Oil out, weapons back in. A closed loop, and the U.S. wants to break it. For years, Iran's shadow fleet has operated in murky waters, tankers switching flags, changing names, hopping between jurisdictions like Panama, the Marshall Islands, Liberia, Hong Kong. Vessels flagged in Comoros, Barbados, Palau, Vanuatu. A floating shell game. Since 2023, these ships have quietly transported millions of barrels of LPG, fuel oil, condensate, petrochemicals, feeding buyers across Asia and beyond. Many of them sanctioned already, many falsely flagged, many operating without transparent insurance. This is not random activity. It's structured, layered, engineered to survive pressure. And according to maritime intelligence estimates, roughly 430 tankers are engaged in Iranian trade today. More than half falsely flagged, nearly 9 out of 10 sanctioned. That's not evasion, that's an entire parallel shipping system. But Washington's message is clear. If oil revenue fuels Iran's military machine, then oil revenue becomes the battlefield. Because this is no longer just about crude shipments. Treasury officials didn't stop at tankers. They went after procurement networks, the middlemen sourcing missile propellants, UAV engine components, precursor chemicals like sodium perchlorate. These are not abstract materials. They are the building blocks of ballistic missiles. They are components in Shahed series drones. They are tools of asymmetric warfare. The link is direct. Oil exports generate cash, cash funds procurement, procurement builds weapons, weapons reshape battlefields. The U.S. is trying to sever that chain. This latest action operates under multiple executive authorities, part of a broader maximum pressure doctrine. And the numbers tell the story. In 2025 alone, more than 875 people, vessels, and aircraft tied to Iranian sanctions evasion were blacklisted. That's not symbolic, that's systematic. But what makes this round different? Integration. It isn't targeting a single ship or a single transaction. It's targeting ecosystems, maritime transport, financial conduits, weapons intermediaries, cross-border facilitators. It's a network war, and the shadow fleet is adapting, ship-to-ship transfers, sometimes 3 or 4 before cargo reaches its destination. AIS spoofing, fake IMO identities, manipulated tracking signals, ownership transfers across low oversight registries, vessels disappearing from digital maps, then reappearing under new names. This is cat and mouse on a global scale. And now, enforcement is expanding beyond ships. Insurers, ship managers, classification societies, banks, any entity touching designated networks faces exposure. Secondary sanctions risk is rising. Foreign financial institutions facilitating transactions tied to these networks could lose access to U.S. correspondent accounts. That's not a slap on the wrist, that's financial isolation. For maritime stakeholders, this is a warning shot. Compliance is no longer about checking static sanctions lists. It's about behavior, patterns, ownership transitions, chartering anomalies, insurance gaps. It's about tracking the ecosystem, not just the vessel. Because the shadow fleet is not static. It evolves. When one ship is sanctioned, another emerges. When one flag closes, another opens. Pressure creates mutation, and Washington knows it. This is bigger than shipping lanes. This is about geopolitical escalation. Every tanker seized, every procurement agent designated, every bank cut off, it tightens the screws. Tehran sees this as economic strangulation. Washington frames it as national security necessity. And as tensions rise across the Middle East, from proxy networks to drone warfare, financial pressure becomes a front line. No missiles launched, no troops deployed, but billions of dollars frozen, assets blocked, networks disrupted, and the message is unmistakable. Oil money will not flow freely into missile silos. Yet history shows something else. Sanctions slow systems, they complicate logistics, they increase cost, but they rarely eliminate networks entirely. Instead, they push them deeper underground, more opaque, more creative, more entrenched. And that raises the stakes even further, because the more pressure builds, the more each side hardens. The US expands enforcement, Iran refines evasion. The financial chessboard grows more complex. So where does this lead? For now, maritime enforcement remains central. As long as petroleum exports fund Iran's strategic programs, tankers will remain targets. Procurement agents will remain exposed, and financial intermediaries will remain under scrutiny. This is not a one-off headline, it's a sustained campaign, a long economic duel unfolding across oceans, banks, and supply chains. The Iran-US clash is no longer confined to rhetoric or regional flashpoints. It is embedded in shipping registries, in insurance certificates, in shell companies, in chemical supply orders. It is everywhere, and it is intensifying on every level. The question now isn't whether the pressure continues, it's how far each side is willing to go. Because in this escalating standoff, the battlefield is global, and the front lines run straight through the world's shipping lanes.